What non-sexual skill is a good indicator of sexual skill? The skill of reading other people. If you are able to read a person like a book, your partner is going to have a good duck session. Many years ago there was a Starburst commercial with a young man and a young woman eating the candy. The woman puts a wrapped candy in her mouth and pulls out the wrapper. The man puts a wrapped candy in his mouth and pulls out an origami crane. Presumably coitus ensues. Always loved that they got away with that. Years ago I was dating a woman, and we were on a few hour-long drive to the beach. I was driving, and as you do, got into the music being played on the radio. I do not remember the song, but I was tapping my fingers on the steering wheel along to the beat. FFWD about an hour. Girl I'm dating tells me to pull over. She wants me to finger her and like now. Well hell yeah. So I pull over, and we have some roadside fun. Finished up and back on the road, I ask her, what got you in the mood like that? Watching your fingers go along with the beat. They were moving fast, moving slow, and you never missed a beat. Got me thinking what else you could do with your fingers. Older woman I used to work with said if you want to know how a woman is in bed, watch her dance. If you want to know how a guy is in bed, watch him eat. If they have a green thumb, I have found that guys who love taking care of plants are without exception amazing in bed. They're willing to get their hands dirty, but are also sensitive to plants' fragility and are careful not to overdo things. Somehow, this translates to sexual finesse. Confidence. Though strange enough, a lot of dominant women are very submissive in the bedroom. Eating sunflower seeds. I used to eat these things by the truckload. Pop a bunch in my mouth and start systematically cracking one open. Eat the seed. Spit the shell. I started this habit when I was 16 and continued well into adulthood. It gave me an incredible dexterity of my tongue, and I've had compliments about me oral performances. Trumpet playing, specifically single-tonguing. Clark's Technical Studies 1-5 on a daily basis. If they're good with cats. Cats are extremely fickle, like I need to tell that to anyone on the internet, but to stroke one you need to be attentive. Never run at a cat. That'll usually scare it. Let it come to you. Bend down to show you're submissive and no threat. When the cat is close, let it smell you and check you out. Sometimes it'll circle you. Then when it's ready you can begin petting. Pay attention to where the particular cat likes being stroked best. Listen to how it purrs, how it rubs its head, its facial expressions. Keep an eye on the tail. If it begins to swish, go back and do what you were doing before. Never go straight for the belly rub. The cat might like it, but it's a risk not worth it because it can ruin that cat's trust of you in one move. If it rolls over, it's showing it's comfortable with you. Not always asking to be touched in its most vulnerable spot. When you're done or need to leave before the cat does, let it know you've enjoyed your time. Give it a few long strokes along the back almost down to the tail, but again be careful. They don't like having the area above their tail tickled, but if you get to the right spot and return to the head, the cat won't mistrust you as you say your goodbyes. Musical ability and video game ability. I mean, hand-eye brain coordination. You know, it really helps. A friend of a partner of mine said that male nurses make good lovers because generally they are easygoing / willing to go with the flow, are usually familiar with the anatomy, and don't get grossed out easily. Listening. People who listen to what your voice is saying will listen to what your body is saying. BJRK's song Venus as a Boy covers this well. His wicked sense of humor suggests exciting sex. His fingers, they focus on her touch as she's Venus as a boy. The ability to laugh at embarrassing things happening to you. Sex is going to have some moments that are widely considered embarrassing. Bodies make noises. Sweat drips into people's faces. Body image issues. Men can finish too early or last too long. Women sometimes last too long or can't finish. Sometimes one of the two wants to try something new and it doesn't go as planned. Sometimes the other person seems to be enjoying themselves too much, so you get embarrassed to say that you're uncomfortable or that they aren't doing anything for you. That's just part of sex. That's why meaningless one-night stands feel so empty. You need to have a good personal connection with someone you're having sex with so that you feel comfortable laughing at these things rather than it being a deal breaker. One of the embarrassing things I listed has literally happened to every single person who has had sex before. Being able to completely lick out something out of a container, such as applesauce or any aqueous form of liquid. Being interested in other people. If you're just yammering about yourself the entire time, you're a self-absorbed dolt who isn't worth the trouble. Listening and paying attention to the person you're with. It's a good thing in and out of the bedroom. 1. Good listener. 2. Unselfish. 3. Able to read body language. 4. Able to communicate needs. The skill of reinforcing extremely serious mental health problems, and of concealing extremely serious mental health problems. This isn't one that some people are going to like to read. From my experience, girls who are lighter have an easier time with pretty much anything during sex. This isn't to say that they are automatically good at it. It's just that they are more likely to be able to move in ways that can make sex great. Another one is thoughtfulness. My girlfriend can be super thoughtful in general. Regarding sex, there's positions that don't do much for her, but she knows they feel great for me and doesn't skip a beat when it comes to getting me off. She's the best. Listening to really understand someone. Asking questions to get to the core of what's important to you. They want to have the same level of connection and understanding in the bedroom. If a man bakes his pizza rolls instead of microwaving them, this guy knows things are better when you take the time to do it right. Cooking. Knowing which ingredients work together and having the passion to spend time bringing them together so that the recipient of the meal you serve them is excited at first and fulfilled after. You ever been moving furniture upstairs with a friend on the other end, and you're pulling up the rear, but just as you reach the top they sit it down because their hands are burning? Well, if your hands are also hurting, then you've got your burning little hands full and you just need to scoot the front bit forward, so you just draw your hips back, throw them forward, and bump that sucker into its place. Well, after a workout like that, you've proven to be a generous person, thereby probably a generous lover. Willingness to experiment and learn from the results. No matter how good you are in bed, each new partner is a new instrument that you are learning to play. The only way to know how to please that partner is to talk with them about what they like, and really listen, and then to get in there and practice those things, and try many different techniques in many different ways, and pay attention to how they respond. All you need is attentiveness. There's no such thing as sexual skill. Everybody has their own thing that does it for them. Compatibility and listening. That's the key. Listening. I feel like sexual skill is all about being able to understand what your partner likes and doesn't like and then doing those things, even if it takes some practice. Having depression and family issues. There's only been 3 girls I've ever really enjoyed having sex with, and all 3 tick these boxes. The other girls may as well have been corpses. Not sure if this is non-sexual, but my wife told me that she knew I was a good lover by the way I slow danced. Now mind you, I never really considered myself a good dancer, but rolling my hips was my go-to move whenever a slow song came on. We've been together for 29 years now. Being physically open, like being huggy and outgoing and willing to touch people, usually translates to more physical chemistry in bed. Listening. If someone is a good listener over dinner, they're likely to listen well in the bedroom. Dancing. Huge indicator of how comfortable someone is communicating with their body. If they dance good, they probably bang good. Some of these answers seem ridiculous. Dancing is the #1 indicator. Easily. Ability to give/take. Know when you are in sync/out of sync. Communicate through movement/touch. Control your body. Lead/follow. If you can dance and you're with someone who can dance, well, I remember reading a women's advice column that said if a man knows how to make a cat purr with his petting, that he's likely to be more skilled in bed. He's paid attention to how a cat responds to being touched in different places. So he's probably done the same with women. My ex told me that when we were still in high school, she'd get turned on from watching me play Guitar Hero because of how quickly I could move my fingers. Evidently I've had the best fingers than anyone else she's been with.